What's up? It's Brandon here. Today I'm going to be going into just how I would go about creating a Poppy board in Poppy AI that I can consistently use to quickly get high quality copywriting for a specific purpose that sounds like me, that feels good, that uses information about me and my company. So I'll just get right into it. I think this will be a pretty short video all in all. So first you open up a new Poppy board. Here you're going to need a year-long subscription, I believe is the minimum time they allow you to, but trust me, it is so worth it. I've saved an incredible amount of time by using Poppy. We use it religiously at my marketing agency. And then you're going to want to start creating a few different groups of context. So this tab here, the groups tab, I'll go ahead and click on that. I'm going to give it a few different groups. One, I'm going to give it information about my company. Okay, I'm going to give it a second group called How I Talk. Now watch this. I'm going to use an AI tool called Whisperflow. How I Talk. You can see I just literally clicked a button on my computer. That little thing popped up. And then now it's going to record and dictate anything I say into text. Incredible tool. Saves me a ton of time. Whisperflow. Highly recommend. We are going to put in another group called Examples of Good Copywriting. We're going to give it another group called Principles of Good Copywriting. And that is all the groups I'm going to give it right now. So basically, we're going to fill this up with different pieces of content and context that give the AI chat basically some really good information about my company, the way that I speak, examples of good copywriting, and then principles of good copywriting. So to do that first with my company, I'm going to give it my website. And then go ahead and just paste my site into there. I'm going to give it this psychographic analysis of my target market, which in this case, I am looking to work with high-end custom pool builders. So I used Manus AI, another one of my favorite AI tools, to create a psychographic analysis document. So I got the psychographic profile of the high-end custom pool builder. I'll make another video on how I go about creating my deep research documents with Manus AI. We put that in. Now we've given it information about my company, my target market. Now I'm gonna go to ChatGPT. This is a chat that I've just had a lot of history with, and it already has a lot of good information about my company. So I'm gonna have it create me a offer document, basically giving Poppy AI a very clear idea as to what it is that I do and the value that I provide. So I'll say, based on everything that you know about my company, create me an offer document that will give any AI a clear understanding of what it is that Harmony Marketing does, the value proposition of our services, and how we can provide value to high-end custom pool builders. All right, notice I use Whisperflow for that too, which literally this tool has been a game changer. I mean, think about it. Like the average human types at about 40 words per minute. The average human talks about 130 words per minute. So just by talking and dictating your voice instead of typing everything, you're about 3xing the speed that you can input any sort of text. I know this is going to be pretty on point. This chat has a lot of information about me: lead gen systems, funnel engineering, client enablement and education, predictable, consistent lead flow across Meta and other local channels. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this straight from ChatGPT, and then I'm gonna paste this as a text box into Poppy. Give it a little bit of context. This document outlines my services that I want to position as the obvious solution for custom pool builders. And then that'll do it for the information about my company. And then I'm going to go into the How I Talk section, and I'm going to go to YouTube. Hopefully you've got a couple YouTube videos on your channel. If not, recommend at least getting a few up. So I click on go to my channel and then go to videos, and I'm just going to copy and paste some of the videos that I've made in the past right into Poppy. And this is going to help it understand my linguistic patterns and the words I use and how I structure sentences so that we can avoid that super cringe AI sounding language. So I'm going to put in just a few of these. Okay, so now I've put in 5 videos into Poppy, and then I'm also going to put in a text piece for some context. I'm just going to say, use this group to understand the way that I talk, my linguistic patterns, my word choice, my sentence structure, so that you can write copy that sounds just like me. So now we've got that group. Now we want to make a group called examples of good copywriting. So we can give it samples of what good copywriting for whatever purpose we want to use it for actually sounds like. So in this case, I'm trying to write an email sequence to go out to custom pool builders after they have booked a call with me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find some examples of good email copywriting. So one of the things I like to do to find good copywriting for emails specifically is actually just go to my email and see what people are sending me. I don't know about you, but I get a lot of emails that are promotional in nature. And so like I just got this one from this guy, Daniel Fazio, and I read through it and actually really like the way that it's structured and it's value dense. And so I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna use this as an example of good email copywriting. And then I'm just gonna go and search up examples of high converting emails. All right, so I just searched up examples of strong email copywriting for lead generation and came across this article. Lead generation emails, 10 great examples. So literally, I'm just going to take this URL and put it into the examples of good copywriting folder. And that'll give us some good examples. I'm just going to find a few more things on the internet that I really like the copywriting of that I would like this bot to mimic. All right, so now I've given it 4 different examples of good email copywriting. And now we're going to go into principles of good copywriting. So rather than just giving it straight up word for word examples, we want to teach it the principles and the foundations and the frameworks that other people are using to succeed with their copywriting. So to do that, I'm just going to go to YouTube, search up how to write better email copy. You're going to get some videos that pop up. If you find somebody that you know, that you come across that you already see as an expert in the field, use their stuff. Take this video, and I'll pop this into the principles of good copywriting section. I'll do that for a few more. Okay, so now I'm pretty happy. We've got our context groups. Okay, so we've got information about my company, website, target market, profile, and then my offer document, examples of how I talk, examples of good copywriting, and then principles of good copywriting. So now I'm going to take all these, I'm going to make an AI chat here. I'm going to connect them all. All right. All right, so I've created this prompt. I'll just read it. Help me create a templated, reusable prompt to use with Poppy AI that will output a ready-to-use piece of copywriting that's aligned with my company, my offer, my target market, and the way that I actually speak. It should pull information from all connected context groups, information about my company, how I talk, examples of good copywriting, and principles of good copywriting to output a ready-to-use piece of copy. Leave a fill-in-the-blank part of the prompt where I can instruct it on my specific use case, ad script, landing page, email, etc. You're a world-class copywriter trained to write in the voice, tone, structure, and strategic philosophy of Harmony Marketing. All right, so it tells it what details to use, what context, what its job is, what structure to follow, that fill-in-the-blank part for my specific use case. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to paste this into the AI chat in Poppy, and I'm going to go to the specific use case. I'll just delete that, and I'll say a warm follow-up email to send to a custom pool builder after they have already booked a call with me that helps build trust and pre-frame them for my sales call with them. All right, now we let it rip. Something I almost forgot that is pretty important that you'll pretty much always want to do when using just about any AI tool is use or add this to your prompt. Don't make anything up that you don't know to be true, and don't use M-dashes. All right, and here's the email that it spit out. So subject line, what to expect on our call. Preview text, a quick intro on how we think about marketing for pool builders. Hey, first name, thanks for booking a call with me. Wanted to introduce myself. It did spell my name wrong, so I will need to fix that. It's Brandon with an E. My goal was to communicate that we're not the typical marketing agency and that we do things different to basically create a system that is more impactful than what they can get elsewhere. So We don't do spray and pray Facebook ads or promise to make it go viral. Instead, we focus on one thing, building systems that attract qualified, high-budget clients who are ready to invest in quality work. Here's what makes us different. Most agencies try to generate as many leads as possible and call it a win. We think that's backwards. More leads usually means more headaches, more tire kickers, and more wasted time on calls that go nowhere. What you actually need is fewer leads that are higher quality. That's why we built our Three Sisters system, which is the name of our actual offer, specifically for high-ticket local service businesses like yours. So this sounds like the way that I would actually type an email. So this is, yes, that took maybe 10 or 15 minutes to set up, but now anytime that I want to go write a piece of copy for my business, I can come back here and I can continually, something I like to do is add to these boards every time. So maybe every time I come back to this board, I can add a little bit more context for it to pull from and just continually make this better. But this is so much better than just opening up a new ChatGPT chat and having to retrain it on the same information over and over and over again. And I like this more than just a normal ChatGPT project because it allows you to provide context in a lot more different formats, things like websites, videos, text, voice recordings, all sorts of different context. And you can essentially train it to think however you want and to sound just like you instead of sounding like your normal traditional AI slop. So that's one of the ways that I like to use Poppy AI to speed up the copywriting process and make sure I get a result that's actually good. So hopefully you got something out of this video. See you next time.